Hey guys, my name's Dave, I hate beat, and this is Impossible Crossovers. So last week, Jeremy decided to issue me a very difficult question, a challenging question. He asked me, who would win Dr. Doom versus Batman in a Pokemon battle? Now I know what you're thinking, what business does Batman even have in a fight against Dr. Doom? He has no chance, right? But then again, Batman's kind of used to impossible fights that he has no business being in. Such as this. This one. See? Batman versus Superman. Notice that it's still in its package because I haven't even opened it to watch it. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this started nonetheless. Batman versus Dr. Doom in a Pokemon fight. Now, first off, Dr. Doom and Batman have a friendly, nice conversation because Dr. Doom's not without reason. Am I right? So they have a friendly conversation and decide that they're going to use all Gen 1 Mons and they're not going to use Legendaries. Okay, so we're not going to use any of this Generation 2 through 7 stuff. We're going to use the original generation, back when it was cool to like Pokemon. Alright, so Dr. Doom being as arrogant as he is, you'll notice that that's kind of a recurring theme here. He's arrogant, Batman's kind of smart. So Dr. Doom's going to lead off with Gyarados. Now, Gyarados obviously looks pretty scary. He's a big dragon serpent looking monster, okay? Thus, why Dr. Doom wants to use him first. Now, Batman, not missing a beat, immediately sends out Jolteon. He's ready. He has studied Dr. Doom's ways. He always studies his opponent before he goes out there. He doesn't charge in without knowing what's coming. So he comes in and immediately uses Jolteon. Now, both of these Pokemon, really all six that each ones are going to use, are totally maxed out, okay? This is like the best that they can be as far as stats are concerned. So, Jolteon being faster, he goes first and immediately uses a Thunder Wave. Now, Thunder Wave, as we all know, is only good for one thing, immediate paralysis. So, Gyarados being paralyzed can attack with his first turn, alright? So then it goes back to Jolteon, who immediately follows up with a Thunder. Gyarados is taken aback. He's almost knocked out, but not quite. He's got a little bit of juice left in him, so he fires up for a Hyper Beam. Jolteon stumbles back a little bit. He's hurt. It was a Hyper Beam, but he's not quite out of the fight, and immediately follows up with another Thunder. Gyarados receives the hit and immediately faints. He is knocked out. He is out of the count. Notice, too, that Pokemon's a great world for Batman because he doesn't have to kill anyone. And that's his thing, right? Except for in Batman v Superman when he just goes around killing everybody. Alright, so now it's Dr. Doom's turn again. He's a little taken aback, okay, because his Gyarados lost, but he ain't worried about that. He's got 5 more strong Mons, right? So then he sends out Venusaur. Now, of course, anyone who's ever played Pokemon before can tell you that when a guy is about to send out someone, you all of a sudden have this psychic prowess and can tell what they're about to send out, and they're like, hey, would you like to switch Pokemon? In which case, Batman's like, yeah, so that I can get that type advantage up in here. And so he sends out Golbat. Now, of course, it's not surprising, right, that if Batman was actually in the Pokemon universe, obviously he would have at least one bat, and the strongest bat in first generation is Golbat, so of course he's going to send out Golbat. Now again, Batman has the faster Pokemon. Notice some strategy there. Yeah, and so he immediately gets to attack first with Golbat, sending out Brave Bird. I'm brave! I'm a brave bird! Now, for those of you who don't have all Pokemon moves memorized, Brave Bird is the strongest flying move of all time, and you can teach it to Golbat, which of course Batman did, knowing that it would be super effective against Venusaur being a grass type. Now, that doesn't quite kill Venusaur, or knock him out, rather, I guess, in the Batman terms. But he is taken aback a little bit, obviously, because it's a pretty strong move. But, of course, in all Pokemon games, you have to choose what move you're going to use before you see what opponent's move is going to be. So, he had already chosen to use Solar Beam. Now, again, for those who don't know, Solar Beam takes 2 turns to actually go through, okay? So the first move, all it's doing is... So in the meantime, Golbat gets to do another attack, in which case he chooses to do Air Slash, which again is a flying move, super effective. And boom, Venusaur's gone. Now that Doctor Doom is losing 2-0, it's a good time to tell you, if you haven't already noticed, that there is a little bit of a theme here. Doctor Doom is a little bit arrogant, and he just chooses whatever he thinks looks the strongest, is the most ferocious, okay? And to be fair, they're pretty strong mons, right? But he's not really thinking it through. He's not really thinking strategically. He's not thinking about what's the better type matchup, that type of thing. Whereas Batman, having no superpowers, is used to having to think all of those things through. This is kind of a recurring theme for Doctor Doom if you look in the comics, because he has no business losing to like the Fantastic Four, and then he always loses because he's usually outsmarted by Reed Richards. Now, if you're a little less nerdy than we are, and you have no idea who Reed Richards is, he's Dr. Richards, aka Mr. Fantastic, aka that stretchy guy from those movies, aka this guy. This is him. Okay, yeah, you got it. Alright, so now Doctor Doom has to re-choose another mon. So this time he sends out Blastoise. Now, of course, Blastoise is not the right move here because Batman immediately is like, and sends out Jolteon again, who's super effective against Blastoise. Jolteon being the faster one, he immediately sends out a Thunder. Doctor Doom should have seen this coming, but among his many gifts is not foresight. Thunder kablamos Blastoise, his HP goes, but he's got a little bit left, so then immediately sends out a Hydro Pump. Now this is not very effective against Jolteon, but because he was already pretty damaged by Gyarados' Hyper Beam, he is knocked out. However, of course, Blastoise is still kind of at death's door, so Batman sends out Old Faithful, Golbat. Golbat comes out, he uses an Air Slash, and down Blastoise goes. So now Doctor Doom is losing 3-1, alright? However, he's like, you know what, I ain't out of this yet, sends out Charizard. Now, I can't impersonate Charizard nearly as well as Justin did. He was perfect at it. But nevertheless, Charizard is pretty ferocious. He comes out. Golbat, not really scared, but he retreats. He comes back. And Batman sends out Golem. Now, Golem, or Golem, comes right out, and he is quadruple effective against Charizard, because Charizard being fire flying, and Golem being rock type and ground type. He's quadruple effective, and everything Charizard can do against him is not going to be very effective. Batman knew this, obviously. Still, Charizard is faster, so he does get to attack first, and immediately sends out a Fire Blast. But now it's Golem's turn. Golem immediately uses Stone Edge, the strongest rock type of all time. Now, unfortunately for all you Charizard fans out there, Stone Edge is quadruple effective against him, so therefore, he's gone, out of there. Now it's up to Doctor Doom to send out another mon. He's down 4-1, so he sends out Machamp. Now, Machamp has 4 arms, he's super jacked, and he doesn't afraid of anything, so it's a great move, right? Wrong. Doctor Doom should have known that Machamp was not the right move because he's already seen twice now Golbat. Golbat being a flying type, super effective against Machamp, also being faster than Machamp, Batman sends him out. He uses Brave Bird again. I'm brave! I'm a brave bird! Which severely damages Machamp. His HP. However, Machamp is not quite out of the fight yet, so he sends forth a Dynamic Punch. You'll notice if you retrace our steps here, this is the first attack that has actually been able to hit Golbat. So, he's not quite out of the fight yet. So, Batman, being as intelligent as he is thinking, you know what, I'm in this for the long haul against Machamp. And he uses Toxic. Now, Toxic is good for only one thing, which is badly poisoning his opponent. Okay, so Toxic is pretty bad against Machamp, so his HP is going like each turn now. That being said, Machamp's turn now, and he uses Submission. Now that knocks Golbat out. He is now out of the fight. Batman's very sad. But the badly poisoned Machamp also faints here. Now that his first 5 Pokemon are down, Dr. Doom's back is against the wall. However, the one thing that he is also known for, besides constantly losing to Fantastic Four and other great minds of Marvel, is having one last big backup plan. It's a bit of a cheating card that is up his sleeve. In this case, he went against the original rules using one legendary. His big trump card is Mewtwo. Now, Mewtwo being psychic type, of course, Batman's not too taken aback. He's like, I'm used to these big mismatches, and I'm used to my opponent cheating, but I still can win, because I'm Batman. So what does Bats do as his back against the wall? He chooses Pinsir. Ha! Because he's bug type, ladies and gentlemen, okay, so therefore he's got the type advantage, even against the great Mewtwo. That being said, Mewtwo is faster than Pinsir, so he does get to attack first this time, and this time he uses his strongest move, which is Future Sight. Now, Future Sight does not hit right away. It takes a couple of turns, but again, he's got quite a bit of confidence behind his Mewtwo, as he should. But now it's Pinsir's turn, so therefore Pinsir immediately uses an X-Scissor. Now, X-Scissor is super effective against Mewtwo, but he's got plenty of HP, so he's only like, eek, okay, and then immediately uses Psychic. Now, Pinsir is promptly knocked out by Mewtwo's Psychic because he's not really known for his HP, but that's okay. He did his job. He came in, he took away some of Mewtwo's health, he did his part. Who's Bats gonna use this time? That was his only bug Pokemon! He chooses Gengar. Now, Gengar is a ghost type, but he's also a poison type because the creators of Pokemon hated Gengar apparently, so therefore he's super effective against Psychic, but then he's also super weak against Psychic because of his poison type. So, that's okay. Bats knows that. So, Bats immediately chooses to use Destiny Bond. Now, Destiny Bond has one purpose. It doesn't actually serve any offensive power unless Gengar faints. And in which case, if Gengar faints, then his opponent also faints. Now, Dr. Doom knows this, so he's like, oh shoot, I better not attack him right now. However, Future Sight now hits. Now, this move is super effective against Gengar, so therefore he immediately faints. However, Destiny Bond also takes place here. Now, I can only assume the animation for Destiny Bond would be Mewtwo being like, oh no, all of a sudden we're best friends. I'm going out too. Romeo and Juliet style. Now, by my count, that is all 6 of Dr. Doom's Pokemon. Therefore, he is gone out of there. Alright, he's all done. Now, of course, Batman still has Golem. Mind you, he's not knocked out yet. And he still had a wild card because Batman's always got one more thing up his sleeve, in which case he had Dragonite. Now, Dr. Doom is not a huge fan of losing, so after losing the actual Pokemon battle, he had the ultimate wild card even after Mewtwo, which is now taking the fight into his own hands. So Bats, not having any superpowers, is immediately killed by Dr. Doom because that's what would happen, folks. Okay, I don't know what Hollywood would tell you, but that's what would actually happen. One energy blast to the face, and boom, Dr. Doom has killed Batman. But hey, Batman still won the fight, so he still has bragging rights in death. Yeah, that's it. That's what I think. I think that Batman would win in an actual Pokemon fight against Dr. Doom. However, I think that Dr. Doom would win in an actual fisticuffs fight with Bats. So, Jeremy, here is my question for you, my friend. In a fight of the Incredible Hulk versus the Incredible Hulk versus the Incredible Hulk, who would win? Now, for a little bit of clarification, I'm talking about 3 different movie versions of the Hulk, okay? So I'm talking about the most recent Avengers Hulk, then the Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton back in 2007, and finally the Hulk that's not super beloved by many, where he fights a couple of dogs. So Jay, that's my question for you. Everybody, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.